Hi, everyone. This is your host, Kristen Howe, and I am psyched to welcome you to our call with today's guest, Stacy Mayo. Stacy is the founder of the Center for Balanced Living and creator of the Sentelligent Solution. She's an intuitive consultant, a Sentelligent medical intuitive, a master coach, and creator of energetic dental cleanings and the Divine Dentist. Stacy has appeared on CBS, in Forbes, Newsday, The Wall Street Journal, Atlanta Sports and Fitness, and Women's Day. She teaches people to become certified medical intuitive. And as an intuitive consultant, she helps you uncover your higher path or go to the next level by resetting your ingrained energetic success patterns, health patterns, relationship patterns, and more that cause you to get caught in the same success plateaus over and over again. And on today's call with Stacy, you will discover how to uncover the amazing gifts you don't even know you have, how your energetic success patterns and habits can be updated and revised to enable you to move ahead with ease, grace, and abundance. You'll find out how to sharpen your Sentelligence to determine what toothaches, receding gums, gingivitis, and other pains, diseases, or ailments are telling you about what's blocking you from moving forward. You'll discover what's keeping you from speaking authentically and being free to be yourself. And finally, you'll discover how to accelerate your success in all areas of life through the knowledge gained from your body. So, Stacy, I am so excited. I can't wait for this call. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you, Kristen. I'm very excited to be here with you again.
I know, and I just love your energy. It's so upbeat and it's so much fun. So, everybody, you're in for a fun call here. So, Stacy, can you take a couple of minutes, share with us, a little bit of who you are, and specifically what we're really interested in is maybe some of the turnarounds you've experienced in your life where maybe you weren't manifesting what you wanted and then you were, because that's what we're here talking about.
Oh, my goodness. There are so many times that I have stopped manifesting and then started again. There are many ways to determine what's in your way of manifesting, and one of the ways I do that is by listening to my body. So I sometimes have like my right foot might cramp up. How you have that cramp and you want to step up and down or whatever on it because it's cramped up and it hurts. Well, that is indicative, kind of, I may be getting ahead of things, but of being cramped up about going forward on your path. To the right side is about going forward in your career. And so for me, manifesting oftentimes might be about taking whatever is going on in my body and using my healing modality, the cash grid, and putting the issues related to that cramped foot in the grid so that I can go forward again in my career.
Wow, so cool. Okay, so how did you learn how to do all of this?
Well, it's just been a divine unfolding is all I know how to say. I mean, it came out of my own health issues and going from one practitioner to another, and some things would work and some things won't work. I know many of us have been through that cycle, and deciding to create my own healing modalities. And it just, I don't know, it was like some connection hit for me about listening to the symptoms of my body. Like all of a sudden I had a pain in the neck, and that was reflective of me believing that someone was a pain in my neck. And it really started like that. And all of a sudden I started really paying attention to the language that we use to describe our symptoms and how much truth there was to it or is to it. And I started using that in my work with other people, and it would resonate with them to such a degree they were like, you hit the nail on the head.
Wow.
Yeah, and so it just evolved, and before long, it's like I realized I was my own brand of medical intuitive in terms of intuiting what is going on with the body, first of all, by listening to the symptoms and understanding what's causing the body to contract or have disease, which is lack of ease. Oftentimes, it is related to moving forward on our path, manifesting money, relationships, and so forth. So much of it shows up in the body, and it's trying to tell us that there's something blocking us.
I love that. So if I'm hearing you correctly, our body, and any pains that we're having, we can shift from being annoyed with that pain and trying to cover it up to actually listening to it because that's an area where we're blocked in one way or another. Is that accurate?
Exactly. And this seems like a perfect time to do an example.
Okay, great.
Okay, so because that's the best way for me. And then we can do an activity with the listeners so they can learn how to do this as well. So, Kristen, do you have a physical symptom that's going on lately that you'd like some help with to see what's going on with it?
If by lately you mean for like the last 8 years, yes. My lower back, I actually have 2 fissures, which is like 2 sort of cracks in my spine. So it's particularly painful recently.
Okay. So you have 2 cracks in your spine. They are fissures, which are like, I think of them like kind of like alleyways. Is what comes to my mind. Okay. So kind of like alleyways. And you're saying 2 cracks in your spine, fissures, and you say the pain. So how would you describe the pain?
It's sort of a combination of stuff because I've had this for so long. There's also like a gripping in the muscles around the spine, especially on the left side. But there's burning in the spine itself. Mind you, I keep doing everything. It's not like it stops me, but it's really painful to do all of the stuff I'm doing, and it's getting progressively worse. Yeah, so there's burning on the spine and grabbing in the muscles, especially on the left.
Okay. And particularly painful to do what kinds of things?
Oh, God. I mean, it's constantly painful.
Okay.
You know, walking, I can't run anymore. Let's say I've gone and walked. I'll walk very long distances, and then I sit down afterwards. The compression of my spine, literally, it takes me 30 seconds to let that compression resolve.
Okay. So I'm getting some hits from listening to the language. So first of all, walking a long distance and then sitting and feeling compression, it's like some part of you does not want to stop and rest. I got to keep going no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
Can you relate to that?
Absolutely.
Like, I'm not going to let this pain is reflective of I'm not letting anything stop me, girl. I'm going.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, the body is trying to tell you to slow down, but being gung-ho, and we could even use the word a little stubborn, you're going, no, I'm not going to let this stop me. And it feels smart to say, I'm not going to let anything get in my way. But actually the body is saying, if you would listen to me, things could flow easier and wouldn't have to be painful, wouldn't have to be hard. And so there's something about there's burning in your spine. You have been burned before, and that burning is in your spine, and these alleyways are like full of anger about what has happened in the past when you have stopped.
Interesting.
Okay?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Okay. So you've stopped in the past and it hasn't worked out for you and you've gotten burned. And so by God, you're not going to stop no matter what. It makes sense on one level, but on another level, what we're getting is this is the hard alley. It's not the easy alley that you're taking. And this is true for so many of us. You know, I know so many people who are listening can relate to, why does it have to be hard? You know, we keep hearing it's supposed to be easy, It can be easy. And it can be. But we have these old messages, these old tapes, these old ingrained patterns in our system. And if we look for you, it's not just beliefs that are there. It's not just traumas. It's not just stances. It's all of that. And there's deeply ingrained inherited patterns in your DNA that say life is hard.
Interesting.
Now, again, I'm sure people listening are going, oh, I think I have that tape too. And it shows up differently for different people. But if you keep going, then it will, it will just keep getting louder until we pay attention.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, you know, it's been going for 8 years and you said it's been worse lately. It is trying to get your attention and saying, there's something here to heal, and it's big, and it's patterns, and it's DNA, and it's traumas, and all of it can be healed, and none of it is impossible. And so slow down and listen.
Well, and it's so interesting, too, because the, everything is hard thing, everything is flowing really easily in the rest of my life. So it's almost like because it used to be, my life years ago was full of struggle in many areas. So it's almost like I took it and put it all there in my body. But you're right. So then I must still have to deal with whatever that belief was, even though everywhere else it's showing up effortlessly.
It's just in one area of your life that it feels hard?
Yeah, just physically.
Yeah, and you said something about the left side being where there was gripping, and left side is our relationship side.
Interesting.
Okay, so left side is our relationship side. So you might want to see where you might be gripping onto relationship. It could be with self, which I'm getting is indeed a good part of it. And so relationship with self and how it is supposed to look. And a lot of this may not resonate with you in current time. A lot of it is just inherited, okay? So I'm getting relationship with self is like gripping on to some old idea of what relationship with self is supposed to look like. Does that resonate?
Absolutely. Yes,
okay,
completely.
Good. So that's where it's hard right now, and that's where the burning is. So you work through it a lot in other areas, and so this is the area that is showing up for you right now.
Mm.
But it's not just about healing the beliefs. It's really, if you want to really get this, it's about healing the patterns and the DNA, and a lot of that can be done.
Okay, very cool. We should quickly clarify what Sentelligence is, because this is what we're dealing with. Am I right about that?
Yes, we are dealing with Sentelligence. And Sentelligence is a word I coined, which stands for our highly functional and intelligent sensory system, which includes our five senses, our body, our emotions, our intuition, and our connection to spirit. And so right now we're really talking about listening to the body is Sentelligent. And so often we don't listen to the body, we numb it, we give it pain pills or whatever. People do a variety of things not to feel the pain. When we listen to our body and we understand how to listen to it, it is really very intelligent and is trying very hard to tell us something that unfortunately we didn't learn in grade school.
Right.
You know, they didn't teach us how to listen to the body in grade school or in high school or in college or anywhere.
So I love that you're offering a different way of doing it that actually is honoring what your body's trying to tell you, because that's so important. And you say that you have 7 Sentelligent keys for a happy, healthy, and authentic life. Is that correct?
Yes.
Now, is this something, because I think in our communication that these 7 keys will help us sort of sharpen our Sentelligence. So does it make sense for you to share that with us now?
Yeah, absolutely. And the first one is exactly what we just said, is listen to your body and the words you use to describe the symptoms to better understand what it's saying. So let me backtrack for a minute to show people what I did. So as I was listening to Kristen, I was listening to all the words she used. She used the word gripping on her left side, okay? She used words like walk, 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 and then when she sat, there was compression and there was pain. Okay, so that told me that resting is painful in some area of her life. So it's combining listening to the body, listening to words, and listening to your intuition and your connection to spirit or your higher self. That combination of things will give you the answers you're looking for. She said burning in spine. Burning is about anger. Okay, you think about burning, burned up about something. So we use this language all the time, right? And it really means something. So now what I'd like to do is give those who are listening an opportunity to do this for yourself, and I can just kind of guide you through it.
Great.
Okay? So just be with whatever discomfort there may be in your body now or has been lately, if you aren't feeling anything now. We all have something from time to time. And it doesn't have to be physical. It can be emotional. It can be spiritual. It can be whatever. But right now we're going to tune into the body. And so think of some symptom. In this case, let's take a physical symptom because it's all related that you've been experiencing. Maybe it's just a headache or something small. Maybe it's large. But if it's something large like multiple sclerosis, don't take MS as a whole. Take one symptom. Maybe it's numb hands or feet or something like that. Take one symptom, okay? And just take the first one that comes up. Don't analyze it. Now, I want you to describe that symptom. If you have a piece of paper and a pen, you can write down the words that you would use to describe the symptom, or you can just think through how you would describe this symptom to someone else in detail, how it feels, when it feels that way, you know, when it acts up. Is it tight? Is it hard? Is it tense? Does it burn? Is it sore? So what words do you use to describe it? And just let the words flow without censoring them. That is Sentelligent, just to let the words come. And then just notice the words. And what do they mean to you? Like the word sore, if like something is sore, what are you sore about? If the word is tense, what are you tense about? So reflect it back to your life and see what you see. See, it isn't really difficult. It's about taking the time to do it.
I was going to say, it's so funny. I'm like, oh, wow, this makes so much sense. Why haven't I thought of this?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
You know, the things that are best in life aren't necessarily rocket science or complicated. It's about stopping and listening. So good. So hopefully everybody saw something for themselves from doing that. So I also want to use an example from the mouth, because we talked about this is also about leading an authentic life, right? And so many of us, you know, we really admire people who speak authentically from their heart. We trust them. We admire them. Often we want to be like them. And we want to live an authentic life. We want to truly be ourselves and be free to be us. A good amount of what keeps us from being authentic can be found in the mouth, in the gums, in the teeth, and what's going on in your jaw, in all those areas. So let me give you an example. So receding gums. Oftentimes people get receding gums as they age. Unfortunately, that's when it shows up. And receding gums, a good part of that has to do with receding from speaking out about something. And depending where in the mouth the receding gums are most prevalent has an effect on what you may be holding back on speaking about. To be authentic is to really speak our truth. And a lot of, again, what happens in the mouth is ancestral. We've been carrying it around for a long, long, long time, but we can heal it.
Wow. See, okay, so what I'm hearing, and I think it's great that actually I used an example that is chronic, because I think part of the message here is start paying attention to your body now, not 8 years from now. Right. So in terms of using those 7 keys, this is something that we can start using all 7 of them now.
So key 1 is listening to the language, okay? Now, key 2 is substituting delicious foods for supplements whenever possible. When we eat real foods, our body is better able to assimilate it, which can give us more energy and have us be able to do more of what we want to do in life and be happier in life. And so that is one way that you can get away from supplements and help yourself and help your body heal better, is by having the nutrition that your body needs, okay?
Okay, great.
And it's also important, too, because we can be, this is another tip, we can be led down a path of, on TV or magazines, this supplement, this will do the trick, that'll do the trick, and it all sounds like it's right for you because your symptoms match, but it's not the right supplement or homeopath or whatever for you. And if we're taking too many of something or the wrong ones, then our body has to excrete it. So using foods rather than supplements is a good thing. Okay. And usually our body will just stop when there's too much of a food. We'll just naturally won't gravitate to that food. That's how intelligent our body is. Okay?
Yes, absolutely. And I was going to ask you, okay, so what are the dangers of taking too many supplements? So that's great that we can actually just substitute food, when at all possible.
Right. It will tax our system if we're taking too much of something or the wrong things. And so in this case, we're just looking at taking too much. I mean, if we read what the bottle says, take two times a day, that might be right for the average person, but it might not be right for you right now. It's generalized.
Right.
You see? And so after a while, your body might have gotten enough of it, and you're still taking it, and your body has to excrete it. And that does tax your systems.
Of course.
And has you operate less efficiently.
Yeah, no, that makes complete sense. Okay, great. So now we know that's a great thing for us to do. Look up what supplements you're taking online to see what foods you can have instead. That's fantastic. Okay, so what is secret number 3?
It is about asking questions based on what you know of your own body rather than relying on authority figures. So if you're going to a doctor or a practitioner, know your own body. If you're really sensitive, know your body. Tell your practitioner. Ask questions to make sure you're getting what is right for you. Be willing to speak up and ask for what you know based on your own experience with working with doctors or medications or supplements or so forth.
Okay, fantastic. All right, so what about secret number 4?
So secret number 4 is about opening up to your intuitive abilities. I mean, we're talking a lot about really listening to the words you say and listening to your intuition here. And so many times people go, well, that's fine, but I can't hear my intuition. So we all have it. We were all born with it, and it has gotten shut down over time for many. And so there are a number of ways you can open up your intuition. One is via meditating.
Okay.
Another is via being attuned to Reiki. Not many people know that, but being attuned to Reiki, which is known for hands-on healing, opens you up to higher levels of source information. So being attuned to Reiki is another way to open up to higher levels of intuitive abilities. And I'm attuned at like a level 8.5 or 8.6 or something like that at this point. So it has helped a great deal in clearing blocks in the way of my intuition. Also, there's a practice that another exercise I'd like to show people, and I call it the 1-minute meditation. So this is a good time to slow down and relax. I'm going to guide you through what I call the 1-minute meditation, which is a great practice for slowing yourself down and being with what is in the moment. And when you're being with what is in the moment, you're more able to hear your intuition. So just sit back and relax and close your eyes. And move your eyes to the right within your field of peripheral vision. Don't strain them so it hurts. Just do it gently. Bring them back to center and then to the left. Back to center and to the right. To center and to the left. To center and to the right. To center and to the left. And back to center. And take a deep breath. And as you exhale, allow your shoulders to relax as you go into your body. Good. And now observe your breath for a count of 3 breaths. And just allow yourself to savor this delicious moment. And then slowly and gently bring yourself back to the present. And just notice what you notice. Feels delicious to me.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Now, is that something we can do sort of just to help ourselves get in tune with our bodies?
Absolutely. I mean, it serves so many purposes. I mean, literally, I've done what I call a stillness experiment and encourage people to set a timer and do this every hour. And it takes a lot to remember to do it every hour, so you have to have a reminder. But I've had people come back and say their blood pressure actually lowered. They didn't have to go on blood pressure medicine just from taking a minute, every hour or so to do this. It has you be less reactive in times of stress and challenge. and just allows you to be with what is. And when you're able to be with what is and be here in the moment, then you can hear your intuition much better.
Wow.
Make better decisions. Yeah.
Good. I love that I'm in this space now, and I'm sure everybody else is enjoying it as well. So can we go through the rest of the secrets now that we're in this really awesome space?
Absolutely. Good time to do that. Okay. So next secret is to really understand the connection we were talking about. So what is underneath your symptoms is also what is often keeping you from going forward and being as successful as possible with ease and grace. And so an example would be legs. If it's your left leg that is sore, well, this is a secret that I love sharing. Left side is about relationships, right side is about career. So if your left leg is sore or swollen or whatever, so swelling, let's say it's swollen, swelling is inflammation, inflammation is anger. So there's anger about perhaps not being able to go forward as fast as you would like. And there oftentimes are also what we talked about with you, Kristen, patterns that are connected with that sore leg. So we have health patterns and we have success patterns and we have wealth patterns, okay? And so paying attention to our body and listening to it. If you notice early on, oops, there's some swelling in my leg, I have anger about something, let me just be with that. What am I angry about? And just allow myself to be with it rather than suppress it. And then also allow myself to want to move past it and to heal whatever that is causing me to be angry, or use whatever tools you like to use. But you can see that it is connected, and this is really important to understand that we're talking about we want manifest, we want a great life, we want a happy life, and the body is saying, whoops, there is something in your way of having what you want. The body is just telling us that. And there may be patterns connected with it that are in your DNA, or there may be, it just may be some anger that you need to let go of, but your body is telling you, pay attention. You want what you want, and your body is saying, I'm here to help.
I love that. I love that idea that our body is here to help. I think even just if that can resonate with everybody, that is so powerful.
Yeah, because so often we say, well, if I could just be without my body, I'd be fine because my body aches and this and that. But our body is telling us, listen, we are Sentelligent. We are, see, our head gets in the way and thinks it knows what's right. But if we listen to our body, it's really telling us what we need to know.
Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, cool. So, and I know you say secret 6, doesn't that have to do with something with our senses?
Yes. So it's about honoring your senses. This is something that I think people will really find enlightening. If something smells bad and it seems like it's bad for you, then you have a belief system that says it is. So I went through a period in my life where I was sensitive to everything. I moved through that time. And what I've come to realize is that if you believe that something is bad for you because it smells bad or whatever, then your body will have a hard time eliminating it, and it will be toxic for you. For instance, I'll take myself. So I used to not get manicures. I stopped getting manicures because I've been in some places where the smell was so strong. I'm like, this is bad for you. I won't go in there. And then I cleared all my sensitivities to whatever goes into a manicure and taking it off a manicure. And so now my body can process acetone and whatever they use, and I can have manicures again.
Wow.
You see?
Okay.
Yeah. So, you know, because I had looked at it for a while. I was like, why am I sensitive to this and somebody else can handle it, right?
Right.
So there are people who are sensitive to different things and stay away from different things. Well, it's just let it be a sign that there's something to heal there. So, you know, now my body can handle it much better.
Wow. So let's move on to secret 7.
So secret 7 is really about, we've been saying this, it's about being with what is and what you want. And so be with it. It is what it is. It's not terrible. It's not horrible. It just is. Maybe painful, which is what is at the moment. And then be with what you want. I want to not have this problem anymore. So that's what it is. So allow for the gap. So when you allow for that, then you have less resistance. You can enjoy the now more. Being with what is allows you to raise your vibration to some extent. But there are other things you can do to raise your vibration. So you want to be with what is, and if you have a hard time being with what is, then you can raise your vibration that will allow you more to be with what is, like, and a couple of ways that you can raise your vibration. Here's a couple of great tips. One is step up and down on your tiptoes. Kristen, you may want to try that right now.
Okay.
If you just stand up, everybody listening can try this. Just stand up and step up and down on your tiptoes a few times and see what you notice.
Tingles is what I notice.
Okay, energy is tingling. Okay.
Yeah.
And after you just be for a little bit, you may just find that your mood is lifting.
I was just going to say, I just had a smile.
You just had a smile, so you just raised your vibration. Another thing you can do is if you're a believer in angels, you can ask the angels to lift you up. And they will. And if you're in a really low place, you might not even be able to notice it, but you can have them lift you up every 15 minutes or however often is divine, and they will keep lifting you up. And between that and stepping up and down on your tiptoes, eventually you'll get to a place of feeling better. If you're really low, it does take a while, but if you're just in a medium place, you'll notice it a lot more.
Okay.
So there's 2 points there. So being with what is and allowing for the gap, so that means you don't have resistance to it. When we don't have resistance to it, then we can let it go and heal much easier and allow the flow to happen. So resistance constricts. So we want to manifest. We allow for what is, and things can flow easier. And when we raise our vibration, of course, we manifest at a higher level of what we want as well.
Okay, so Stacy, I have to say, I love the 7 secrets that you just gave us. I'm excited you offered to share your 7 steps intelligent medical intuitive process. So can you describe that briefly now?
Absolutely. So the process is somewhat similar to what we've discussed before. So step 1 is about listening to the words used to describe your symptoms. Okay, so that's what I do with my clients to understand what's related to the system. Step number 2 is I use my intuitive abilities to intuit the number of beliefs or patterns or blocks or fears related to the symptoms and the gist of what they are. Number 3 is to intuit, okay? So we talked before about it's being important. So we can get, the body needs more B12. Well, the body can get that by eating more kiwi fruit and lentils. So intuit what the body needs to heal and what it can take to heal it, preferably naturally when possible. Okay. Step 4 is we scan the body for operating inefficiencies in the organs and imbalances in the body, okay, and energetic matter that is keeping the body from healing emotionally, physically, spiritually, or whatever. So we might look to heal both the emotional issues and patterns related to it as well as heal physically, to actually heal it physically. So on both counts. And then step 5 is to align, balance, and cleanse the chakras. And step 6, so things can flow easier, right? And then 6 is energetically clear the emotional issues and some of the physical issues as well. And the primary method I use is the cash spread. We'll talk about that more in a moment. And number 7 is suggest any regimes. Sometimes I have people listen to an audio I call a letting go audio, which helps your body let go so that it can heal more easily, or any referrals to practitioners if you need, a physical therapist or a massage therapist or whatever. And so that is basically the 7-step process to doing medical intuitive work to give you information about what's going on in your body, why isn't it healing, what do we need to know so that it can heal, and what do we need to do so that it can.
Wonderful. Okay, so that's amazing. I love that. And I can't not have you talk about the cash grid because that sounds really interesting.
So the cash grid is the crystalline activated Sentelligent healing grid. And it is made from crystals of the earth, and it has been very much customized and has evolved a great deal over time to where it's just really gotten phenomenal. I love the cash grid, and the cash grid has the highest and best modalities in it. And so you don't even have to know what modality is best for you to heal some issue. The cash grid chooses for you whatever modality or modalities are needed to work with your symptoms. And so it does a lot of things and more. And so we'll share more about that. But I want to go to the lighter side for a minute because, Kristen, you had the experience of an energetic dental cleaning. And it may sound kind of strange. How can you have an energetic dental cleaning? Well, it's just divine. I mean, the grid works through spirit, through God, and through proprietary processes that we have developed with the divine. And so we call it the divine dentist. And Kristen had a visit from the divine dentist while she was sleeping. And you want to share your experience of your cleaning?
Yeah, it was the coolest thing because I found out, I don't know, like a week or two before we scheduled it. So I was like, okay, I know. And I put it in my calendar. I knew it was going to happen while I was sleeping. I was supposed to like brush my teeth like I was going to the dentist before bed. And then, I didn't have to do anything. I just had to go to sleep. So I did. I put it in my calendar. I did all of that, went to sleep, promptly forgot about the whole thing, totally forgot about it the next day. And then the day after, still forgot about it. And about halfway through the day, found myself, you know how when you get your teeth cleaned, you kind of play with your teeth and run your tongue over your teeth? I found myself doing that. And I was like, oh, that's so weird. My teeth feel so, this is the strangest thing because I have to say I was like, oh, okay, dental cleaning. I had no idea what to expect. So I found myself playing with, and I was like, my teeth feel so clean, and they haven't for a bit now. I've noticed sort of midday that I'm like, ooh, I need to brush my teeth. My teeth feel kind of coated. So suddenly I was like, well, this is different. I'm running my tongue over my teeth. They feel completely smooth. They feel like I've had my teeth cleaned. And I was like, well, that's really weird. And then suddenly I went, oh, wait a minute. And I ran to my calendar and I looked and I realized it had been 2 nights before that the cleaning had happened. Totally forgot about it. And there I was noticing the difference, which no one is more shocked than I about that. So yeah, it was really cool. It was so cool.
It is so cool. It is one of my favorite things because it is just so cool. It is so gentle. You don't even know it's happening. Your teeth get cleaned and polished and the plaque and tartar removed just like as if you've gone to the dentist, but you never leave your house. And it's so gentle. It's just incredible. And then you run your tongue over your teeth and it feels slick because they have indeed been polished naturally by the divine dentist. And you didn't have to go anywhere or do anything. And so just imagine being able to save all this money by just having your teeth cleaned for your whole family, just all of that, and the time that it takes to go to the dentist. Well, yeah. It's not the only thing. It's not the only thing the grid does. The grid does more than just dental cleanings. It helps with excess plaque and tartar, receding gums, gingivitis, toothaches, removing stains from your teeth. All this gets done by the divine dentist. It's our latest feature of the grid, the coolest thing. So now we can go to their side. So the more serious side, well, I mean, it is serious, but it's just cool. I mean, the grid also heals. So like let's use some examples that you might relate to because you may not know that your liver needs healing. But if you're not sure, you could actually have it put in the grid, and it would get healed. And if you need a cleanse, you would get an energetic cleanse. You don't have to go buy a cleanse. That is just custom right for your body to cleanse your liver and heal the emotional issues related to your liver. It's very cool. No more cod liver oil needed, okay? So think about that. You're just saving tons of money. And so, but some things you might know. So this person, his brain was foggy, and he couldn't think straight, and he was feeling dumb, and he felt like his brain was deteriorating. And sometimes that's happened for many of us. It's happened for me. And so after putting issues relating to this in the cash grid, he felt some improvement very quickly. And by the 3rd day, he was much sharper, and he said he had no brain fog. And then it was like sometimes added bonuses happen. As an added bonus, he noticed that his short-term memory was significantly better. Wow. So now he had no brain fog, and his memory was significantly better, and all he did was put the issues related to it in the cash grid. And so I tapped in because I know how to measure, and we also teach people how to measure with the cash grid by muscle testing, found out that his cerebral cortex, I mean, we're talking about a brain, was functioning at 78%. And just about 7 days later, or 9 days later, I believe it was, his cortex was operating at 100%. I mean, that's fast.
Wow.
And he felt nothing. There was no pain. There was nothing. And so it was just like, wow, my memory's better to boot. And so it all happened because oftentimes with the grid, we heal the issue and everything related to the issue. So we get the connected issue. So a connected issue to him was his memory. So now he's also used the grid to heal his ADHD and his dyslexia. And he's like, I asked him about his ADHD. He's like, what ADHD? You know, it's like, what? And now all of that was done without any medications, without any retraining, just by putting it in the grid.
So cool. I love that.
So I want to give you one more about attracting. Can I give you one more really quick?
Yeah, perfect. That was my question. I was like, if you want to tell me more about the grid, but if not, I want at least one more story that can go, oh, wow, this is what's possible. So absolutely, go for it.
So the cash grid started out as a manifesting tool. That's why it's got the acronym CASH. So it's also great for manifesting. So Susan was a client, and her issues were placed in the cash grid, and her phone started ringing off the hook with referrals and requests for appointments. And she also sold a lot more product, and this happened within a week after putting her issues in the cash grid. So there is a manifesting aspect to the grid, and I could talk about this in another way for myself, but with the grid, you put everything in the grid that's in the way of you manifesting what you desire. So you think about law of attraction, like you have to be in alignment with what you desire. So you put everything in the grid without having to know what it is. Mm-hmm. You don't have to know what it is. That's the cool part. You just say, let's put everything in there, and we give you a statement to use of what's in the way of me manifesting what I desire, and that goes in the grid. And then you can even ask for it to be set up to go recurring. So in case more stuff pops up tomorrow, it will clear it daily. And then have the grid align you with what you desire, so that you will be vibrationally aligned with it. And it is the coolest thing. And so Susan manifested within a week, her phone ringing off the hook. The last launch I did, I used the grid for it. I said, well, I would make X amount of money on my launch, only launching to my list, not having to do teleclass or anything else. And so I used the grid for that and cleared my blocks in the way of that, not knowing what they were, and aligned with that. And I made that much. I said, okay, that's cool. The launch is still on. Let's go to the next level. So I upped the ante, put it in the grid again, aligned with it, went to the next level. A JV partner showed up out of the blue, and she went for it. And she said, how cool is that? She's one who had also experienced the dental grid and the dental cleaning. She was like woohooing all over the place. And I upped the ante 3 times using the grid during that launch, just mailing to my list and having whatever show up. And the manifesting was amazing and easy.
Wow, that's so cool. I love that it kind of grows with you, right? So that you can keep moving ahead. That's really, really cool.
It's very cool. And it is a tip to not try to stretch yourself too far at one time in Quantum Leap. I took leaps that felt doable so that there wasn't like too much blockage in a way, you see? And so each time I kept going up.
Right. Absolutely. No, that makes so much sense. And I love actually that you shared, a couple of stories with us, but also then one of your own, because one of the things that speaks volumes to me is the fact that you are using your own systems.
Yeah.
That's the coolest thing. And that's, when I get extra excited is when I'm like, this person who's talking about this, Stacey, is actually using her stuff. And, because of that, because of your passion, because there is so much more to this. And it's really just, it's such a unique take on things. I asked you to create a special offer. So
go ahead, click on the special offer button that's on this webpage, and we will take you right there.
Stacey, let us know what we'll find there.
Okay, great. So when you get there, you're going to be amazed at all you can learn that we've talked about. I mean, we talked about it. You might think, well, this is out of your league, but it isn't. My goal is really to empower you and to empower people to understand their body, to learn to really understand what your body is saying, and to heal yourself and to do it really, really easily and quickly. And So the program is called Sharpen Your Sentelligence and Understand What It Is Telling You. Okay? So this is really about sharpening that sentelligence that we talked about, our Sentelligent operating system that we all have. Okay? Mm-hmm. And so this system is going to save you money, energy, and time on doctor's bills, dentist bills, vet bills, even alternative practitioner bills, which I am one of. So, it just does. And those of you who are alternative practitioners, you can even get certified in this method and use it with your clients. So I wanted to throw that in, that we're working on that as well. So the first thing is you learn the cash grid. And so you learn how to use this cash grid, okay? And when using the cash grid, you'll learn very simple statements. So there are recorded classes, and you'll learn and a handout that just guides you through the process, all right? And so you'll learn how to very simply put your stuff in the grid without even having to know what it is and have it all be done divinely for you to heal, we call moderate to moderate plus physical issues. Again, this is not for chronic issues. You can use the grid, but we do not say that it is the whole method for chronic issues. So we want to just state that clearly. If you've had something for 8 years or whatever, or a long time, then you will likely need more than that at this time. Over time, we hope for the grid to be able to handle everything. But right now, it can handle moderate to moderate plus health issues, such as healing your liver, healing memory, healing brain fog, healing your kidneys, healing your bladder, strengthening your bladder, bladder leaks. All this stuff can be helped with the grid, just depending on what else is going on with your body. So a lot can be done. And manifesting as well, and having energetic nutrition, like we talked about, saving money, not having to buy cleanses, having energetic dental cleanings. So there's tons that you can do with the grid and just play with it, and it just gets better and better. As we said, it has the highest and best modalities in it now, and as there are openings in the world and new modalities are created, the highest and best modalities are automatically placed in the grid at no extra cost to you. It's just there. So you don't have to know which ones to use. They just work for you divinely. So you get 2 recordings and a handout that explain how to use the cash grid and just guides you through the process, okay? And then you can see here about Amy Flynn. Amy Flynn was visited by the energetic dentist, and it worked for her while she slept, just like it worked for Kristen. And she was just woohooing all over the place about this. It's a very, very cool thing. And then you can move into the classes, and the other classes are about sharpening your intelligence. So they are recorded, and they also have transcripts with those classes, and it's about learning to understand the language your body speaks. So in the first class, it's about understanding what's beneath knee and joint problems, sore muscles, inflammation, kidney issues, and such. So really helping you understand what's going on in your body. Then in the next class, which is recorded, you can listen to at your own pace. We recommend putting it on your calendar to listen to 1 class a week or 2 a week, whatever works for you. They're about an hour and a half. Or just read the transcripts, or just go to the ones that you are most interested in. You can work this program any way you want. So the next class is also about learning to understand what supplements and foods are needed by your body to heal, and learning how to muscle test. So there's a handout about how to muscle test. So to better understand what supplements you need, that's all included. And we talk about everything from depression to how to deal with multiple symptoms, like something like MS that has multiple symptoms, back problems, vertebrae being out. And we even have a handout that tells you what each of the C vertebrae means when it's out of alignment, C1 through C7. Kind of be your own chiropractor to an extent there and better understand what it means when they keep going out. Class 5 is about further learning what questions to ask yourself and your doctors, and to be sure you're doing what's right for you. And then we talk about hips, legs, hands, fingers, and toes. And then class 6, we talk about when to release the issues and when to use supplements and how to get off supplements and medications and avoid surgery. And we talk about the heart and blood pressure and blood clots and varicose veins. I just worked with someone today about varicose veins. They're really fascinating to understand what's behind varicose veins. Then class 7 is about understanding what happens when you release blockages energetically. the difference in various techniques. And then we talk about other common ailments that people have, like thyroid. You can heal your thyroid, your adrenals, balance your hormones, bladder, feet. All these are common things that people have. And so we talk about what it all means and how to heal it using the grid. And then class 8 is bringing it all together, looking at how to deal with excess weight, which is a tricky one, and the nose and liver and headaches and migraines. And we do have an example of someone who was a former student of ours who really worked well with the grid on healing her weight, her excess weight, and just automatically starting to eat healthy foods, not because she had to, but just because her body started leading her to healthy foods, healthy amounts of foods, healthy activities, just naturally as a result of healing those issues in the grid.
Wow.
So we talk about all those cool things, right? And so also in the grid, you get a handout, I call it a mini report, which gives the meaning of about 75 physical and emotional ailments that you can kind of use as a reference tool. It's a draft. It's not complete, but it does give you some really good information. I keep saying I'm going to finish that book one day, and one day I will. It's talking about how to listen to your body so that you can improve your relationships and your finances. Okay? And so all those things that we've talked about, and how to heal and release traumas and beliefs and all those things at one time, again, without having to know what they are, including patterns. So that's what's included, and you can use it with your family members. This here you'll see a testimonial from one of my medical intuitive students, Donna Christensen. She just used the grid with her daughter, her adult daughter, who had stomach cramps, and her daughter gave her permission to use the grid with her. By the next morning, her daughter had no symptoms. She had her energy back. She was able to eat where she hadn't been able to eat for a day or two. And after weeks, her symptoms had not come back. So she used it in the moment. This had been going on for days, and it healed very quickly. And so we all like to be able to help our family, right, as much as we can. And so you can help your family with this tool as well, not just you, but for your family. And if you're a practitioner, you can use it with your clients too. And so we have on here also, you can go down and read from Monica, who's the one who did it with her weight, and also with her daughters. They used the grid for their weight, and it worked for her daughters as well.
I love and the examples, because it's one of those things where it's not like, you do it and then you're waiting 4 years to see if it sounds like you can feel a difference pretty much right away. Am I correct?
Well, interesting, some things you can feel more of a difference right away than others. Like if it's your liver, you may not know your liver's healing.
Sure,
right?
Of course.
And so that's why we have the muscle testing, because we give you that handout for free so that you can actually measure. And we teach you in one of the classes how to measure, that's included here, how to measure, is my kidney at 78%, at 79%, at 80%, at 82%? At what level? So because you won't know some of those things, you won't know that it's healed, but you will learn how to measure it and know that, oh my gosh, my liver is operating at 99%. I'm almost done. So we actually teach you between the handout and the classes how to know with some of these things. And some of you may say, well, how do I know if I'm having problems with my liver? Well, we talk about that in these classes, how to do this easily and really heal. I mean, you can do preventive medicine as well as deal with the stuff that is up. Some of it you will notice right away, and some of it you may not, and that's why we teach you how to measure, so you'll know that something is happening. Like sometimes we just things just kind of fade away slowly. It's very subtle differences. And, well, just really quickly, we didn't even get to the bonuses, so I just want to just say that there are bonuses in addition to all that. So the program is the full cost of what we are saying, we just said, is $897. But, we are giving this away just about for $97. But here's the other thing. There's bonuses, like if you're interested in being a medical intuitive, there's a coupon for $200 off the next 6 months Intelligent Medical Intuitive Training. There's coupons off working with me, having a mentoring or coaching session with me. You can get a Sentelligent Reiki Attunement for free as part of this. Open up your intuition. It's a recorded attunement that's attuned just right for your system, taps in divinely for you. You get the mini book, you get the free report on how to muscle test, and then you get a free live question and answer session with me. So as questions come up, you save them, and then we'll have a live Q&A so you can get questions answered that you may have about your own symptoms. And if you can't be at the live Q&A, you can submit them, and I'll answer them on the call, and then you can just listen to the recorded call. So I wanted to make sure everybody knew about those bonuses. Total value is over $1,450, including all those bonuses.
I love this. I love everything that you're doing here. Everyone, I highly encourage you, definitely go check this out.
If you haven't yet, just click on the special offer button on this page to see for yourself what an amazing package this is. You'll be glad you did.
And Stacey, I just thank you. It's an incredible special offer that you've put together for us. The call was fantastic. You gave us so much that we can do, right now, and I really appreciate that about you. And do you have any final words you sort of want to send us off with today?
In closing, I just want to say that I'm just really delighted to be able to empower you to move forward with your own health and well-being and manifesting with these tools so that you don't have to rely on people like me. I really am happy to empower you to learn how to do this for yourself. And for those of you who don't want to do it yourself, I'm happy to help you, but many of you are so intelligent, and I encourage you, if it resonates with you, to really learn how to tap into your own intelligence and use these tools. It will only get better over time, and you will have the benefit of the improved mortality as it continues to increase as there are more openings in the world, and we are able to heal easier, better, and even more chronic issues over time.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for everything you brought to the call today. It was just fantastic and so full of really valuable stuff that we can start using right now, and I really appreciate that. I can't wait till we get to do this again.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much, Kristen. I really appreciate you. Blessings to you and to all.
You too. And everyone listening, thank you all for everything you do. I love being here with you. And until the next time, keep manifesting. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.